We're here to idea you, to fire up your curiosity and connect you with the people and ideas that shape our world. Watch, listen, understand, connect, and create. Let's move the human story forward together.
Hello and welcome to The Poetry of Science, a podcast which provides insight into new scientific research via the medium of poetry. I'm your host, Dr. Sam Illingworth, and each week I'll be introducing you to some of the latest scientific findings and sharing a selection of science-themed poetry. After all, we could all do with a little bit more poetry in our lives. In this episode, I'll be exploring new research which has found confirmation of an ancient lake on Mars. A riddle wrapped in burnished dust turns its wounded face towards our gaze, furrowed brows guarding tales of distance, water, life. A canvas of history stretched out across this bed of broken mouths, every layer a story told in pride as our envoy's dead and certain eyes peer deep into the withered surface soul. Layers once flat and plain now tilt disrupted, revealing ghosts of ancient lakes, calm and still until a break. A pause before the delta's birth, and within the trembling hopeful sounds of flowing, living, being. This poem is inspired by recent research published in Science Advances, in which Mars's water history has been studied by NASA's Perseverance rover, suggesting past habitability. Mars, our mysterious neighbour in the solar system, has long captivated us with questions about its history and potential to support life. One of the most intriguing aspects of Mars is its relationship with water. In the past, it's believed that Mars had conditions that could have supported liquid water on its surface, a crucial ingredient for life as we know it. The presence of water on Mars raises exciting possibilities about the planet's past, including whether it might have been habitable. This curiosity has led to a fascinating study by NASA's Perseverance rover, which is currently exploring a site known as the Jezero crater. This crater is home to ancient delta deposits, which are essentially layers of sediment that have built up over time. These sediments can tell us a lot about the conditions on Mars in the past. The rover, equipped with advanced technology like the RIMFAX ground-penetrating radar, can see up to 20 metres below the surface. As it moved from the crater floor to the delta area, the rover found a significant change in the layers beneath the surface. The older layers in the crater floor show a patchy and inclined pattern, while the layers above in the delta region are more regular and horizontal. This indicates that the delta layers were likely formed in a calm lake environment. Interestingly, at one point there's a clear break between the two types of layers, suggesting that the crater floor was eroded before the delta layers were deposited. This study not only enhances our understanding of the Martian surface and its history, but also hints at the tantalising possibility that Mars once had conditions suitable for life. Now that you've heard the science, let me read the poem to you again. A riddle wrapped in burnished dust turns its wounded face towards our gaze, furrowed brows guarding tales of distance, water, life. A canvas of history stretched out across this bed of broken mouths, every layer a story told in pride, as our envoy's dead and certain eyes peer deep into the withered surface soul. Layers once flat and plain now tilt disrupted, revealing ghosts of ancient lakes, calm and still until a break. A pause before the delta's birth, and within the trembling hopeful sounds of flowing, living, being. In this section of the podcast, I'd like to share a poem written by another poet on a topic related to the science that has been discussed so far. In this episode, I'll be reading Here's Mars by William H. Dickey. William H. Dickey, born in Bellingham, Washington, was an acclaimed poet and educator. After earning his BA from Reed College, Massachusetts from Harvard, and studying at Oxford on a Fulbright, he completed his MFA at the Iowa Writers' Workshop. Dickey taught at Cornell, Denison, and San Francisco State for nearly 30 years. His poetry collections, including Of the Festivity, published in 1959, More Under Saturn, published in 1971, and The Rainbow Grocery, published in 1971, earned him recognition and awards like the Juniper Prize. His works, noted for their balance of humour and seriousness, were published predominantly by small presses. Dickey, who lived in San Francisco with his long-term companion, the poet Leonard Sanazaro, passed away in 1994 from HIV-related complications. Here's Mars, by William H. Dickey. Over the office building rising across the street from my parents' house in the warm August night, Mars comes as close as I shall see it. Not knowing much about stars and planets, I have loved them, that Pluto's called Pluto to fix in the night sky the initials of Percival Lowell. And now here's Mars, just west of the streetlight, bright even enough my father, shading his cataracts with his left hand, can see it plain. Heaven upon and above us sends messengers composedly, rarely in their never hurrying, their dignity is made known. Standing by the screen door, my mother, father and I come close together, sharing that steady light not one of us will see, so near again. Thank you for listening to the Poetry of Science.
Thank you very much for being with us for this episode of the Idea Me Show. Idea Me is a global platform. Our mission is to move the human story forward by sharing knowledge of the future. You can find us on all major audio networks at www.radioideame.com, on YouTube and Vimeo. Please subscribe.